Good morning, everybody. How are you, children of God? And how are you, evil people that were wishing Messi and Argentina bad? Just so that you continue your good debates.
Man, here's the thing. As Messi has just been showing us his skills, his discipline, and just his greatness, I did not understand where
I cannot.
this.
I don't
I
know.
don't.
So much bad belly made people to lose
There's a hatredom.
opportunity. What is it? You wanted the whole Argentina to lose just because your own favorite player has gone home. Now, what for you? And people go to church on Sunday. Hmm. Anyway, we will talk about you today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. How do we talk about this? Apart from on air, on the mics, you can talk about it up on WhatsApp 0809 440 981. You can go over, use the hashtag Lockerroom981 up on Twitter. And Tega, I don't know how you do this, but I don't like it. Let me give you the rundown of what's going on in sports, and I'm going to sit down for this. I don't like standing up. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm too tall for the mics. I think you have to be a certain height to enjoy standing
Yeah,
up.
very high taste of you, but continue.
Yeah, sure. All right. And we've got the NBA it's so much better from this level. We've got the NBA renaming the MVP award as the Michael Jordan Trophy as part of their rebrand. Ferrari, Frederick Vasseur to join, and McLaren's Andrea Settle to replace him. Croatia undone by true Messi performance. That is what Zlatko Dalic said. And France wary of Morocco threat preparing for wall of noise in semi-final, whilst Neymar cleared of corruption over Barcelona transfer, and Ten Hag unsure when Sancho will return to first team, whilst Roman Molina, investigative journalist to sue Cameroon Federation. And there you have it. That's what we got coming up for you in the sports. Okay, so let's talk about this Michael Jordan trophy. So it's the award presented to the NBA's most valuable player, and now it's going to be named after Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan trophy.
Yeah, I like what the NBA is doing. So they've instead of using their trophies. I mean, they've always had that this trophy when you win a trophy is named after a legend, but
Hakeem Olajuwon.
But they've expanded it now, so they have more trophies and so more wins. So
Mm-hmm.
the last one they did was the All Star MVP, which was named after Kobe Bryant last year. So this year the MVP of the playoffs would be named after Michael Jordan. And then the defensive player of the year will be named after Hakeem Olajuwon. So they have rookie of the year also.
Wilt Chamberlain trophy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
will be the World Chamberlain trophy. So they have. So what it is they're just saying that every time you win a trophy, you just know who you're winning. That's what it
I
is
love
now.
it. So they've got the Clutch Player of the Year,
Yeah.
which is the Jerry West Trophy.
Yes.
They've got the John Havlicek Trophy, which is Sixth Man of the Year,
Yeah.
and then the George Mikan Trophy, Most Improved Player
Player
of the Year.
So once you win a trophy, you just it's named after a legend. So I like what they do in the NBA. They still just know how to recognize, the current talent as much as they're recognizing the legend. So great one for them. Michael Jordan was really smiling. He was like,
I mean, who else could you have? Who else
who
would
could you have?
Come on, man.
I remember I think it was Draymond Green that was talking about how why LeBron is a better player than Michael Jordan. I was just like, dude, you would have played soft basketball. Like if they exhale in your direction, you fall on the floor like you've been shot. You would have survived one quarter in the 90s basketball. One quarter, you'd all have been finished. But yeah, so now greatness and legendary status with the NBA trophies. I like it. I'm loving it. I can't wait to see who wins it now.
Okay. And Ferrari have named Frederick Vasseur as their team principal. So the Frenchman, the current boss of the Alfa Romeo Sauber team, will replace Mattia Binotto on the 9th of January.
Yes, so Matteo, as you know, the complaint was there from the start when, you know, Ferrari started losing from a winning point. That was the beginning. They started the season, the 2022 season, having the faster car, and then they were driving in reverse. What's happening? It was either strategy was wrong. They were calling the drivers over the radio saying, "What do you think we should do?" Driver was like, "Dude, I'm trying to drive. You can't be calling me in now." It was all of that, a combination of that and the way they finished the season without a fight, without a challenge. And so, yes, of course, Binotto was one of the first people to go because he was the leader of the world. But they brought in Alfa Romeo's team leader to now be Ferrari's team leader. Here's my question though. With this kind of things, I like to see you pick from within the team, and grow up, or pick from completely outside. But when you pick from Romeo, a team that hasn't been in a championship battle, where
Are they seeing something we're not? Maybe.
because it's a gamble. Hopefully it works, but I mean, because these things can be overwhelming. So now you have to start thinking strategy with people with serial winners like Mercedes and Red Bull, and you are in Ferrari, and that's just a later that the fact that you're in Ferrari, the status alone is already pressure. And then you now have to make winning strategies with those guys. I want to see how it pans out for them. So people already have started blaming the guy that he's usually confused, or because because he's a
Oh, poor
mid
guy.
he's a mid grid, MD or team principal. Because a mid grid team principal, nobody really looks at him. So now he's going to be in the spotlight. Every strategy, they'll just be looking at the Ferrari pit wall. So I want to see how it pans out for them. But yes, Binotto definitely had to go. He really messed up last season. It was so bad. It wasn't, the times they had reliability issues, you couldn't question that. But when the driver is in the middle of battle and you're telling him to come in to the pits to change his tires, like, guy, are you not watching the race? What are you doing? Why are you disturbing your driver in the middle of a battle? So it was those things. Binotto certainly was going to go. But the replacement, though, is what I'm questioning. Will he be good for Ferrari? We'll wait to find out.
And we know Formula One is the place where they have experiments. So
Yes.
fun. All right. Let's talk about this one now. Croatia tried their best to control their World Cup semifinal, but a vintage performance from Argentina's skipper Lionel Messi took the game away from them. Coach Zlatko Dalic said after his side were beaten 3-0 by the South Americans on Tuesday.
I must say this, though. I must say this. After what Croatia had done in the group stages, nobody expected that Croatia will be beaten that way. Everybody expected that Croatia will somehow find a way to take it to penalties. I'll make it a little tight because they've been hard to kind of score against. Um, but I would say something. When the match started
Mm-hmm.
and they started playing at the pace they're playing, remember when they came against Brazil, with the pace of the Brazil forwards, Rafinha running, Vinicius Junior running. I was just looking at, they slowed down the match to their own pace and they were able to drag it out. But they were playing that same pace with an Argentine side that used haram football to win Copa America. I'm just saying, when they started at that kg pace, I was like, this is exactly what Argentina wants. People, don't do this. Play the ball through the lines. It was so obvious that you are trying to beat Argentina at Argentina's own game. Now the difference between Croatia and Argentina is that Argentina actually does have some very talented players. They have a good forward in Alvarez. Lautaro Martinez may not be in good form now, but he was in good form in the qualifying. He was in good form in Copa America. He has not been in good form in the World Cup, but his replacement, Alvarez, has been in fantastic form. They have a genius in Lionel Messi. So they have all these X factors, and you're playing them at your pace. They are going to beat you. And so when they started with the KG match, and I was just waiting, and then Argentina just turned it up. From like the 20th minute, Argentina moved into gear two, and all of a sudden, there was no way Croatia could keep up. Now, the biggest bone of contention was the penalties. I still think, regardless of the penalty, Argentina was going to beat Croatia because Croatia just doesn't. Croatia is a side that is formed not to be beaten, as opposed to a side that is formed to win. And I think they don't set up to win; they
Mm-hmm.
set up to not lose. And so when they meet a team that can force the issue of winning, they struggle. So they were always going to concede. But the biggest bone of contention for a lot of people was the penalty. Was it a penalty or wasn't it a penalty? Um, and I'm going to open the phone lines now. Let's open the phone lines to hear why you think it was a penalty. or why you didn't think it was a penalty. The numbers to call are
01448991.
so the conversation we are having, Argentina's first goal, the penalty that Lionel Messi scored, the penalty that was given against the goalkeeper. Do you think it was a penalty and why? Or if you don't think it was a penalty, tell us why you don't think it was a penalty. But really huge game by Croatia, and unfortunately they just didn't have that extra factor to be able to beat Argentina. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the phone calls. Hello, good morning. What is your name and your location?
Okay, my name is Lucky.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. I thank God that Sega talk about the issue of that penalty that was very contentious. Because if I don't talk about it, I would just conclude that the bias for Messi. I think in this competition, there is an agenda by FIFA to make sure that Messi win this World Cup. Because Argentina have got to 4 penalty in this World Cup. 4. I think there's an agenda. After this into those games, I'm very careful that they will not do one or two things.
Lucky, let's not. There's an agenda. There's an agenda. Was it or was it not a penalty? If they've given them 4 penalties, were the penalties not supposed to be penalties?
So what do you the VAR? What do you the VAR? I don't conduct it.
Oh, Lucky, was it a penalty or not? You are the VAR today. Was it a penalty? Okay, he didn't get that. Okay, so when you call, let us know, was it a penalty and why do you say it was a penalty?
What's your name and your location?
I'm calling from Lagos.
Emmanuel, go ahead. Penalty or not? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, why?
Simple. The goalkeeper just spread himself and stood on the spot, was stationary, and this guy ran into him. That wasn't a penalty. Croatia played them from the beginning of the match to that point when they had to score that penalty. And that's why it came to. That was not fair, sincerely.
Okay. All right. So
let's take one more call and then we'll take a break. Hello, good morning. What is your name and your location?
Yeah, good morning. This is Eze from Ojo.
Ooh, is it from Ojo? You'll need to speak up first of all, and then go ahead and actually share your thoughts. Penalty or not?
Well, I do want Argentina to go through, but looking at it at the second thought, I do think it was kind of soft. I must be said. But you know what VAR take into consideration? There was a coming together, and the VAR now has to look, is it a clear and obvious error? It wasn't a clear and obvious error, so that's why it has to do. But I do think it was soft, but the referee and the VAR cannot do it. But when they have a second look at that, it wasn't a clear and obvious error, so that's what it took into consideration. But I still think Argentina was better on the table.
All right. So when we come back, I think I'll talk about if it was a penalty or it wasn't a penalty and why. All right, let's take that break now. Everybody's talking about agenda. Was it a penalty or not? They've given them 4. If they've given them 12 penalties, it shouldn't be a penalty or not. That's the issue. And if all the penalties are legal, then there's no agenda. All right.
Even our staff have come in. The heads of certain departments have said it was a penalty.
I'm going to get back to, because enough people just get too emotional. Oh, there's an agenda for Argentina to win. Where was this agenda when they lost to Saudi Arabia? The FIFA didn't have an agenda then. The agenda came from Mexico. Don't worry, we'll talk about it, whether it was a penalty and why. Let's see YouTube people, what YouTube people are saying.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Let's not forget YouTube. YouTube people, where are you?
Was it a penalty or not a penalty? Lucky's so angry.
Lucky.
Lucky said there's an agenda for Argentina to win. I'm like, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
If they like it, then give them 12 penalties. Is it a penalty or not? So if you go and foul somebody in the 18-yard box and you now be hoping that they don't give a penalty. Meanwhile, I should tell you that every penalty that is given is reviewed by VAR. It's not, it's not every that the referee goes to check the monitor, but every single penalty must be reviewed by the video assistant referee.
I hope that helps.
I hope that helps. When we get back on air, are we back?
We are back in 15.
In 5, 3, 2, 1.
My dear, that's the kind of counting that people in the gym do. They're like, come on, man, why are these seconds being half seconds?
When I throw my hair back out, take out.
Penalty or not, let's get into the messages and see what you have to say. It's gotten so heated that even our people and our heads of departments are coming in. Mrs. Dennis says it was a penalty. And Aki Adesoji says it was not a penalty. Where was the goalkeeper supposed to go? Alvarez hits Livakovic, not the other way around. That said, Argentina played better and deserved to win. In as much as France versus Argentina final, aka Mbappe versus Messi, would be a blockbuster, I always root for the underdog. So I hope Morocco shocks the world tonight. And Taya says, with Messi qualifying and potentially winning this tournament, I hope Ronaldo fans won't say winning the World Cup is irrelevant. Yeah. It could go to that.
They could get there. These people can go really low.
Chimabi Victor says, congrats to the Argentina team for getting to the final. They truly deserved it because Croatia didn't really come to the party last night. Wishing Morocco the very best of luck against France, although it will be difficult for them. But this is football. Anything can happen. And a Biggie from K2 says, Messi is the GOAT. No doubt about his masterclass performance yesterday. It was good to see Argentina in the finals. Hopefully Morocco will beat France and end up in the final. My money is on Argentina winning the World Cup against Morocco. And thank you, Cruz. We'll take that compliment. Whilst Victor Shell says, France will make history winning the World Cup back-to-back. Hey, the predictions are really coming
Yeah,
out.
okay, so let me... should I
I'll go
answer?
over to
Okay,
YouTube,
yeah.
then.
Let's do YouTube.
Okay, so up on YouTube, we've got LK Aderogba who says, it was a bit dicey for me because the keeper stood his ground, but if strictly by the book, might be a penalty. The Ronaldo fans are the ones screaming agenda. Their goat has been cooked, roasted, and barbecued. Whilst Oluwasegun Gundikwe says, this is all caps loco. First of all, let me just put it this way. He starts off his message quite nicely, lowercase, good morning, how are you doing? Then went into full caps lock. It's a penalty! No argument! Morocco versus Argentina final. And that's how we do it.
All right, so let me break the deadlock. It's a penalty, simple. And here are the reasons. The first rule of the game, when you come out for a ball like that, as a goalkeeper, the first rule is that make sure you get the ball, because if you don't get the ball, you are going to cause a foul. So the first rule, Livakovic missed. He didn't get the ball. Julian Alvarez got the ball. Now, after Alvarez got the ball, Alvarez wasn't even sure that the ball was going to trickle into the goal. So he wanted to follow the ball. And Julian's leg, yes, was in one place, but his hand moves towards Alvarez and he impedes him. If you impede a player in the box, it's a foul. It's a penalty. There's no agenda. There's no VAR the VAR had to slow it down. So if you go back again, they showed that match this morning because I just watched it again. If you go back and watch the slow motion, you will see that Alvarez had won the ball and was moving towards the ball when Livakovic's hand comes down on him. So at the end of the day, clear penalty every day of the week and twice in a semi-final match. So no agenda there. That was a clean penalty. But yes, it was a fantastic game. And at the end of the day, Lionel Messi, for some reason, I think he has vexed since that those Saudi Arabians were asking where is Messi. Because the way he's been playing, and I hear he's carrying an injury, but the way he's been playing is the trickiest of ways. Like, I like the way Van Dijk said it. Van Dijk said the reason why it's so hard to mark him is that for most of the match, he's just walking around or sitting in one corner. Which is what he was doing. If you watch that second half, he's just walking around for a lot of the time. And then the next minute, he picks the ball up and dribbles Vardiol and creates the third goal. Like, he's walking around, doing nothing. Almost like the devil seeking whom to destroy. But that's what he's doing. Which is hard, because you're looking at him and saying, oh, he's not going to do anything. And he's just walking. Next thing, he just collects the ball and takes off. So great game for Argentina.
You know those people who are legendary eaters, but then you're sitting in front of them and you're talking to them, and they're constantly talking, and you don't never really see them eat the food.
Yeah.
Then the food is gone. And you're like,
That's Leo for you.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a fantastic match, and Argentina was going to win every day of the week. Playing the way they did. Croatia dominated. They held the ball. Oh. It's not like they didn't hold the ball, but there was no outlet. So I think what Croatia needs to do, since they are a traditional team, is get a replacement for Mandzukic. And I saw Mandzukic on the bench. He's now assistant coach. He still looks fit enough to play number 9. So maybe UEFA Nations League. Oh yeah, just get a replacement. All right, so let's.
I'm sorry, Tega. Did you just get carried away by your own funniness that you staggered?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Let's take the next story.
Okay, so let's talk about France, who are going to go into their World Cup semi-final today against Morocco with the utmost respect for their giant-killing opponents, as the defending champions prepare for a hostile reception from the Maghreb side supporters on Wednesday.
Yes,
They flew them in specially.
Yeah. So we're hearing a lot of planes were leaving Morocco for this. Yes, to add to the already.
Emma Rock said, we're giving you guys
we're
like
giving you
free,
yeah,
if not
everybody just
subsidized, if not free.
yeah, everybody get on the plane and go and support the team. That's I like that kind of country. Even Super Eagles have done that. Anyway, Tega, moving on. Face front, Tega. But yes, it's a really big day for the Africans. And yes, I said Africans categorically because that's what they are. They have come to the semi-finals playing. They didn't get here by bumbling and fumbling. They've played brilliantly so far. And so far they've taken out the colonial masters. So are the French the next colonial masters to be knocked out? Please do.
Please.
But it's been impressive the way they've set up. However, I think the difference between most of the teams they've met and the French team is that the French team can play direct football and have talented players. Now with Spain, they don't play direct football. They're always passing the ball from side to side, trying to outpass their neighbors, their opponents, and put the ball in the back of the net. With the Portuguese team, they could play direct too, but they still don't have that. Their X factor is not showing. But with this French team, they have an informed striker in Olivier Giroud. So direct football. They have a talented striker in Mbappe, and their midfield is solid. Here is the problem with the French. They have the frailties in defense. So as much as the French can score, they can also concede. And their goalkeeper, for me, is the weakest link in the French team. So Morocco has a chance of scoring because of that, because of Hugo Lloris and that defensive pairing. Upamecano may not be around today, so maybe that would be hard because Upamecano is also another weak link that the Moroccans could have taken advantage of. But there were questions of his fitness for the semi-final match. So I think maybe Konate will be a replacement. But for me, the French defense is the most vulnerable part, and that's where Morocco can get some joy. However, the French have that up front. They are lethal. They have Antoine Griezmann. I think people don't notice. People talk about how Mbappe is amazing and how Olivier Giroud is scoring goals.
I'm watching him be amazing on television now.
But Antoine Griezmann is the guy you need to mark because nobody's watching him and he's just moving the ball through the lines. Always in the build-up of every French attack. So that's the one guy that they need to watch out for. So it's going to be a really tough game for Morocco. But fingers crossed from Africa, they can do it. Otherwise, the French will try and defend their title.
So let me just put this. Morocco have one thing that the French don't. Their mothers are there. You don't know the strength of a mother's prayer. Have you not seen the mothers kissing them as they win?
Yeah, after they win.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the kisses has to make sure they win for the next one. So we don't know when the kisses started. I'm just letting you know.
All right. So now that we are here about Morocco and France, let's open the phone lines again and find out.
Tega, you're really in love with these phone lines today.
What is Morocco's best hope of winning against the French? Now, like if you were the coach of Morocco, how would you play to defeat the French? The numbers to call are
0144899181.
Okay, so while we're waiting for those phone calls for you to tell us how you would set up your Moroccan team to beat the French if you were the coach, Let's take some messages.
Remember, you've got the strength of Africa behind you and the hopes of Africa as well.
Yep.
So make your choice wisely. Up on WhatsApp, Mrs. Dennis says, Tega, you are always on point, and applause. And we'll take some calls and then finish the show on the messages. Hello, good morning. Oh, goodbye. Let's try another one. Hello, good morning. What's your name and your location? All right, Moses from Lagos. Go ahead. How would you set up your Moroccan side?
Yes, technically, Branch has a challenge, which your colleague in the studio has actually identified. The Glories is actually not a factor for them in that post. Obviously, they're defensive. They have also defensive territory, like she rightly said. Now, what Morocco should do is that when once you know that you have a defensive problem, and then the keeper is bad, what you need to observe is watch out for your wingers. And when once you can use your winger effectively and put a controlling midfielder that will be very defensive in all terms, when once he advances, he returns back again, you know that those wingers will put pressure on the defense that is very frail. Thereafter, when once the defense is shattered, the goalkeeper who had the issue is not even is a problem. We have no option that to escort the ball to the net.
He said escort the ball to the net.
I really have an African perspective in me that I feel like even giving the result before the match is actually played, but without sounding so emotional about it. Morocco has to also be mindful of the fact that 15 of the players in that French team, they are all Africans. 15. Frontally, not playing like Spain, where they'll be trying to.
All right, then. Let me take one more call to end the show. Okay, thank you so much for the setup, man. Okay, 01448991. Will you be the last caller on today's locker room? Let's see who you are. Hello, good morning. What's your name and your location? Deep voice.
Victor Edison. Good morning. Good morning, Tiger.
Good morning.
Morning, Victor. Go ahead. How would you set up your side?
So for me, the best form of defense is attack. Meaning that the Moroccans should try and neutralize the French attack to ensure that they don't bombard them with spiritual attack, because that's something they're going to like in a combo. If they can neutralize the attack, the problem with the midfield, trust me, the different defense is going to be open for them to exploit, and then if they have to get a goal in the first half, they should just work on it. And then see how they can actually score the game. Hopefully, try to neutralize their attack and take control of the midfield, and then he won't come out of it. So that's what I can take.
Victor, thank you. He said get the early goal and lock up. Pack a bus, a train, and everything else. Let's take some messages.
All right, these are going to end the show, and we'll start off with Femi, who says, Tega, please just explain again via text to listeners on the Smooth FM platform how the first goal is a penalty. She'll do that at Tega Supreme. Find her up on Twitter. She'll explain on Twitter at Tega Supreme. And Mecca from Amua says the Moroccans this evening will be served sweet French fries when Le Bleu line up. I like the Moroccans, but you see the French. Their attack is lethal. Chomeni and Rabiot are also players to watch out for. And Cruz says Croatia started that game on fire. Unfortunately, Argentina managed the pressure, got lucky, and took advantage of opportunities that the game presented. I'm on the fence about Morocco versus France, but the World Cup has been 7 surprises. So let's see how it goes tonight. And Tayo says Messi is casually enjoying his game. He doesn't do too much these days after kitting up. Small jogging, then score. And that's how we end the show. All right, people, it's been a blast. You can catch Tega again on Friday inside the locker room. That is from 8:15 up until 8:45. Till then, she will be explaining all she can explain up on Twitter at Tega Supreme. Coming up, 9 o'clock, Lagos Talks.
All right. Somebody has given me assignment to say, explain in text.
Explain my text. Please.
Thank you.
Stop doing your assignment. Oh, I didn't read YouTube. Let's see what YouTube was. Okay, YouTube is still okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, YouTube is still okay. Are we still on YouTube? All right, YouTube. See you.
Bye, YouTube. Oh, wait, we are still on. Yeah, okay.